In recent times, LinkedIn has found itself at the center of a heated debate regarding its use of user data to train artificial intelligence models. As the platform leverages vast amounts of personal and professional information to enhance its AI capabilities, concerns about privacy, data security, and user consent have surged. This controversy has sparked a crucial conversation about how much control users have over their data and the ethical implications of using such data for AI training. In this live stream, we'll get into the specifics of LinkedIn's AI training practices, explore the potential risk and benefits, and provide you with essential insights to navigate this complex issue. Okay, before we get started, let me mention that this live stream is made possible with the amazing live streaming, audio, and video recording, plus webinar platform solution from StreamYard. Here's why you should consider using StreamYard as a content creator or webinar host. StreamYard is the ultimate live streaming platform. Are you a content creator looking to take your live streams to the next level? Or are you looking to become a content creator? Look no further than StreamYard. Whether you're a podcaster, gamer, educator, business owner, or professional, StreamYard offers powerful features to enhance your live broadcasts. So why use StreamYard? First, easy setup and professional quality. StreamYard is user-friendly and requires no technical expertise. Simply sign up using my special link that you'll find in this event's description, and you'll be up and running in minutes. Enjoy professional quality streams with customizable overlays, logos, and backgrounds. Secondly, and great for branding across many platforms, is multi-platform broadcasting. Stream to multiple platforms simultaneously, including Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, X, and more. You can reach a wider audience by broadcasting across various channels. How about conducting guest interviews with ease? Invite guests to join your stream remotely. StreamYard's virtual studio allows seamless collaboration. Conduct interviews, panel discussions, or Q&A sessions effortlessly. Engage with your audience by using StreamYard's live chat feature to interact with viewers in real time. Display comments on screen and build a community around your content. When it comes to branding and customization, you can brand your streams with custom overlays, watermarks, and lower thirds. Also, showcase your logo and maintain a consistent visual identity. And lastly, recording and repurposing. Record your live streams for later use. Repurpose them as podcast episodes, YouTube videos, or social media content. StreamYard's recording feature ensures you never miss a moment. Okay, so after this live event ends, get started with StreamYard for free. Sign up using my special link added to this event's description and also posted in the comments. By using this link, you'll receive exclusive benefits such as free basic plans so you can start live streaming without any cost. Think of doing a trial run. And if live streaming and recording audio and video via StreamYard is what you want to do, then step up your game and get a $10 credit when you upgrade to a StreamYard paid plan and enjoy additional value-added advanced features. So don't miss out on this opportunity. Join the StreamYard community that I've been a member of since 2020 and create captivating live and recorded content and more. So what are you waiting for? Sign up with StreamYard today. Okay, here's what I'll be covering this evening. I want to talk about what makes LinkedIn significant for professional networking. Look at LinkedIn's approach to using user data in AI training. I also want to cover the controversy related to the use of data in AI training, especially focused on opt-in versus opt-out practices, lack of explicit user consent, use of personal data without clear communication, and also look at LinkedIn and other platforms related to concerns, and that would be associated with privacy and data security issues, ethical considerations using personal data for AI training, potential impacts on user trust and platform reputation, and then look at LinkedIn's response related to the suspension of AI training using UK user data, updates to privacy policies and user agreements, and what LinkedIn users should know, how LinkedIn uses user data for AI training, the steps that users can take to protect their data, and broader implications regarding the impact on the tech industry and other social media platforms, and look at regulatory and legal considerations. Then I'll wrap up everything up related to my thoughts on the importance of transparency and user consent in AI training. Let's talk about why is LinkedIn significant for networking. LinkedIn holds a very unique position in the professional networking landscape for several reasons. Those reasons are an extensive network. With LinkedIn, you have a global reach. LinkedIn has over 900 million members worldwide. That provides a vast network of professionals across various industries. Secondly, it has a diverse connection for you. Users can connect with colleagues, industry leaders, potential employers, and clients, and this facilitates a wide range of professional relationships. The next important aspect of LinkedIn is its professional branding. Personal profiles. Users can create detailed profiles showcasing their skills, experiences, and achievements, acting as an outline resume. And company pages. Businesses can establish their presence, share updates, and engage with their audience. When it comes to job opportunities, LinkedIn has job listings and it hosts millions of job postings, and it makes it a really go-to platform for job seekers and also for corporate recruiters. And the recruitment tools. There's advanced searches, filtering options that really help recruiters find the right candidates efficiently. For content sharing and engagement, this is an important aspect for me, that you can add posts and articles. And users through the posts and articles can share insights, their technical knowledge. They can also provide industry updates and also position themselves or their companies as thought leaders in their field or in their particular industries. You can also create groups and communities like the Digital Revolution community. And with LinkedIn groups, that allows professionals to join communities of interest, and it provides them an ability to really enter into discussions and also additional networking opportunities. For learning and development, you have LinkedIn Learning, which offers a wide range of courses and tutorials to help users develop new skills and advance their careers. There's also certifications that you can obtain, and you can earn these and display them on your profile, which really helps enhance your professional credibility. Now, data-driven insights related to analytics. LinkedIn provides analytics on profile views, post engagements, and job applications, helping users understand their impact and their reach, and market trends. You have insights into industry trends and job market dynamics that help the user stay informed and competitive. And also, let me add that trust and credibility. You have the ability related to endorsements and recommendations. Now, users can endorse each other's skills and write recommendations, adding credibility to their profiles. And verified information. LinkedIn has a very strong verification process to help ensure the authentic users and their profiles and also their job postings as well. Now, LinkedIn's combination of networking, branding, job opportunities, and learning resources makes it a very indispensable tool for professionals looking to advance their careers and connect with other like-minded professionals. Now let's get into the controversy. The controversy surrounding LinkedIn's use of user data to train AI models centers on several key issues, which are: the first is the lack of explicit consent. LinkedIn initially opted users into data collection for AI training without explicit consent, and this is what really raised the privacy concerns. Now, users were not clearly informed that their data would be used for this purpose, and it led to a sense of, really in some users, betrayal and mistrust. Related to privacy and data security, well, the use of personal data for AI training without clear communication about how the data would be protected and kept anonymous, it really heightened the fears about data security. And then the concerns related to it was that a lot of people weren't really sure exactly, how LinkedIn and its affiliates, including Microsoft, would handle and share this data further. And also that added to the controversies. Related to regulatory intervention, the UK Information Commissioner's Office intervened, prompting LinkedIn to suspend the use of UK user data for AI training. And this regulatory scrutiny highlighted the need for stricter compliance with data protection laws and more transparency practices. Related to user trust and platform reputation, well, the controversy has impacted user trust, with many feeling that LinkedIn's actions were not aligned with their expectations of privacy and transparency, and that called into question LinkedIn's reputation as a professional and trustworthy platform. Now, this has been really called into question recently, and this necessitated efforts to rebuild their users' confidence, which I will go into through in this podcast, into this broadcast. Ethical considerations, the ethical really impact of using personal data for AI training without explicit consent. It has sparked debates within the tech community and also across other platforms as well. And related to issues of fairness, transparency, and respect for users being anonymous, this is what's become very central to the discussions that are happening, not only on LinkedIn as a platform, but other platforms as well. Now, LinkedIn has responded by updating its privacy policies, and they provide users with options to opt out of data collection for AI training. However, the controversy underscores the importance of transparency and user consent in the use of personal data for AI development. Now, let's talk about LinkedIn and other platforms related to the concerns. Now, platforms like LinkedIn and Facebook have faced several significant concerns when it comes to using user data in AI training, and this is according to AI experts. Let's talk about privacy concerns. With a lack of explicit consent, users often feel that their data is used without clear, explicit consent, and this also leads to privacy violations in most cases and the feeling of privacy violations. Data misuse. There's always a risk that personal data could be used in ways users did not anticipate or approve of, such as for targeted advertising or profiling. Data security. We all know that data breaches, there are large data sets that are used for AI training, and they become attractive targets for hackers, which is increasing the risk of data breaches. And insufficient being anonymous, not being, the lack of that. Anonymous data can sometimes be re-identified, which also poses security risk. Now, ethical considerations. You have in training data with AI, you're going to have a level of bias and discrimination that can be built into the data. And AI models that are actually trained on the biased data can really kind of spread and even amplify existing biases, which can lead to unfair treatment of certain groups or certain individuals. And then transparency and accountability. Users often lack visibility into how their data is being used and how AI decisions are being made. This really raises ethical concerns about transparency and accountability. Now, impact on user trust. You're going to have an erosion of trust when users feel that their data is mishandled, and this can lead to a significant erosion of trust in the platform. And also, you're going to have the potential for reputation damage. These controversies over data use can damage a platform's reputation, and this makes users more cautious and potentially driving away from them. Regulatory and legal challenges. In compliance with laws, platforms must navigate complex regulations like GDPR in Europe, which mandate strict data protection and user consent requirements. And related to legal penalties, noncompliance can result in hefty fines and legal penalties, which will further impact a platform's operation and reputation. What's really needed is user empowerment. And when I talk about user empowerment, I'm talking about control over data. Users need tools on platforms to control how their data is used, including options to opt out of data collection for AI training. And there needs to be education and awareness. Platforms should always educate users about data privacy and really what are the impacts of AI training related to data that can really help foster more of an informed consent and ultimately lead to a higher level of trust. Now, addressing these concerns requires a balanced approach that prioritizes users' privacy and ethical considerations while really fostering innovation. Transparent communications, robust data security measures, and adherence to ethical standards are essential to mandating and maintaining user trust and platform integrity. Now, let's talk about LinkedIn's response. LinkedIn responded to the backlash over its use of user data for AI training with several key actions and updates. And this included, the first was the suspension of data use. LinkedIn's suspended the use of UK user data for AI training following concerns raised by the UK's Information Commissioner's Office. The second thing it did was a privacy policy update, and LinkedIn updated its privacy policy to provide more clear information on how data is used in AI training. And this includes specific steps related to how the personal data will be used to develop and train AI models. And what they're looking to do, build a level of trust. When you look at AI model training, it takes a data set and it uses that data set to train the AI. So the idea with the new privacy policy is to basically say this is a closed-in type of training for their AI. And once that's completed, that data collected is not being used in any other way. The other thing that they added were opt-out options, and they gave more clarity to how the users have the option to really opt out of future data collection for AI training. Now, however, this opt-out does not apply retroactively to data that has already been collected and used. So at least we get a little bit of a benefit moving forward. But unfortunately, the AI data that's existing in the past will stay in that collection mode. Enhanced communication. LinkedIn's general counsel, Blake Lawwitt, published a blog post detailing the changes and emphasized the platform's commitment to transparency and user data and control over the platform itself. That's available if you were to search it and you were to put in Blake Lawwitt. That's Blake, B-L-A-K-E, last name L-A-W-I-T. You can find that blog and you can read that. Now, privacy-enhancing technologies. LinkedIn stated that it now employs privacy-enhancing technologies that minimize the use of personal data in AI training data sets. And this is really aimed to protect users' privacy. And related to education, they provided resources. There's links on the platform that you can read about this. And there's also FAQs to help users fully understand how their data is being used, how it's being collected, and also too, how can they manage their privacy settings. Now, these steps were taken to really address the concerns, to also comply with regulatory requirements, and ultimately what they're looking to do, in addition to the UK, which now again, those data sets are not being used. The ultimate plan is to rebuild that trust back into the platform to get back to where they can pull it for future development of AI and AI training that they'll need for their AI systems employed and utilized through LinkedIn. So now let's talk about what LinkedIn users should know. What you need to know related to how LinkedIn uses your data related to platform AI training. Let's talk about data collection. Now, LinkedIn collects personal data from users' interactions, such as your post, your profile updates, and also feedback. This data is used to train AI models to improve personalized services, including job recommendations and content suggestions. Privacy enhancing technologies, as I mentioned earlier, they have these technologies that are now in place to minimize the use of personal data and AI training in the data sets. And this is really to try to strengthen and protect users' privacy. Now, related to opt-out options, you can go into your settings and there are user opt-out options for future data collected for AI training. And as I mentioned earlier, unfortunately, this does not go retroactively on data that has already been collected. Now, let's talk about steps users can take to protect your data. Now, let's talk about these steps and then also, too, how you can do it related to LinkedIn. Now, for the first thing you want to do is review your privacy settings. So if you go to your settings and privacy on your menu in your profile, you'll click your profile picture at the top right corner of LinkedIn. Now, navigate to the Data Privacy tab and look for the option Data for Generative AI Improvement. And this is where you can manage your preferences. Now, you have the option there related to opt out for the AI training. Now, within the data privacy settings, you can opt out of having your data used for AI training going forward. And the next thing you can do is you can also manage data access. So through the access, it will be set, and when reviews are done, it will delete data that might be collected about your past activities and other data as well. And you also want to stay informed. You want to make sure you're checking out LinkedIn's privacy policy updates. You should be doing this with every platform. When you see an update come related to privacy policy, read the fine details. I know it's a lot to read, but take a look and see exactly, because they have to specify out exactly what they're going to be doing with your data. And also check out blog posts as when privacy policies change. I do this with YouTube. When YouTube changes its terms and conditions and privacy policy and all type of different information, rules and regulations, let's say that, I make sure I look into it into a fine-tuned comb, but also too, I Google or on YouTube, I will search to see changes in policy and see what some of the content creators who like to look into depth and detail and look at the legalities of this stuff. What are they saying about the new updates in the privacy policy? That's a good way to stay informed. But you really want to stay informed about how your data is being used, not only on LinkedIn, but all platforms. Now, by taking these steps, users can better control their data, ensure privacy, and your preferences are really respected on LinkedIn and other platforms. Now, for a broader implication of user data and AI training, the use of user data for AI training has broad implications across really, I'll call it various dimensions, which impact the tech industry, social media platforms, and regulatory landscape. Now, here's some of the data privacy aspects that experts have pointed out, but really recommendations of key points to consider. Related to data or privacy and data security, user consent. There really needs to be better explicit user consent information, and this is really paramount. Without it, platforms risk really violating privacy laws, and that ultimately will lose users' trust. Now, data breaches, large data sets used for AI training definitely become large, attractive targets for cyber attacks, and this increases the risk of data breaches. Ethical considerations, as I mentioned earlier, anytime you collect vast amounts of data, you're going to get good, bad, and indifferent. And what happens with that is you have sometimes issues related to bias and sometimes a little gray area fairness. AI models are trained majority of the time these days on biased data, which can really help spread and amplify existing biases. And this can ultimately lead to unfair treatment of certain groups or individuals or, other type of aspects of society and life. Transparency. Users often lack visibility of how their data is used and how AI decisions are made. And this raises ethical concerns about transparency and ultimately accountability. The impact on user trust and platform reputation. You're going to have an erosion of trust when there's a mishandling of user data. This will erode trust in the platform, and it makes users really cautious and potentially can drive them away from the platforms. That happened to me with Facebook. I used to be prolific Facebook, and when all the controversies happened with user data and privacy on Facebook, I decided to pack up, and I rarely do anything with Facebook today, but these things can impact users. Regulatory and legal challenges, compliance with laws. Platforms have to navigate complex regulations. As I mentioned earlier, GDPR, which is in effect in Europe. And these type of regulations mandate strict data protection and user consent requirements. There are lots of different legal penalties. And anytime you have non-compliance, this will result in most cases in hefty fines, legal penalties, class action lawsuits. And this really impacts a platform's operation and ultimately its reputation. Now, for industry impact, innovation versus regulation, there has to be a balance that's struck between fostering innovation and ensuring ethical use of data. And this is a major challenge today. Overly restrictive regulations may really stifle innovation, while inadequate protections can really lead to misuse. And we've seen that with social media. Competitive advantage, companies that effectively manage data privacy and security, they're going to gain a competitive advantage by building strong user trust and also complying with regulations, not only in the United States, but globally as well. Now, for future trends, there's an aspect of what they call harmonization of laws. There is a growing need today, currently and moving into the future, to harmonize global regulations and avoid fragmentation and conflicting legal obligations. And what I mean by this harmonization of laws, what you need to do with social media and platforms is to have basically a set of regulations, standards, and things like that, norms, practices, and things like that. If you can have that globally, it creates a balanced approach across all nations and all different platforms. And I think to have that really helps. Now, an area that can be a big impact, here in the United States, we have free speech, but as a lot of platforms will point out to you, they have free speech with an asterisk. So that harmonization can happen and still, in most cases, protect free speech. Ethical AI development. The tech industry is increasingly focusing on developing ethical AI frameworks that prioritize user privacy and data protection. Now, addressing these concerns really requires a balanced approach that prioritizes user privacy first, ethical considerations second, and also fostering innovation. We need to have innovation to move forward. Now, transparent communication, robust data security measures, and adherence to ethical standards are essential to maintaining the user trust and platform integrity. So I want to give you my final thoughts on everything. Let me wrap up this stream and say that transparency, in my opinion, is crucial for maintaining trust and integrity on platforms like LinkedIn, especially when it comes to collecting and using user data, your data for AI training. By being open about data practices, LinkedIn and other platforms can ensure that users are fully informed about how their information is utilized, and this really fosters a sense of security and confidence. Now, clear communications and explicit consent are also very essential in respecting user privacy and ethical standards. Ultimately, transparency not only protects users, but it also strengthens LinkedIn's reputation and other platforms' reputation as a trustworthy and responsible professional network. So, that being said, I would like to I greatly appreciate you joining me on this live broadcast. And also, please don't forget to subscribe to the Digital Revolution with Jim Kunkel podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and many other podcasting platforms. Now, some really good news related to the Digital Revolution podcast. On all of the major podcasting platforms, it really helps a lot with the content topics. And what I found is that I'm rapidly approaching about 700 downloads on the episodes per episode. And that's a great statistic to be at. I think it was 2 months ago, I just hit like 500, if I remember correctly. So it's been 9, 10 months into this already. And, things are going really well, but it's all because of you. It's because of everyone listening to the episodes, responding to the episodes. I get a lot of emails related to it. There's also a text me feature built into the podcast, and people do send the text to the podcast. And I really greatly appreciate everyone's support. Now, that being said, one of the things I will definitely leave you with is that if you are interested, and a lot of people have reached out to me and they say, hey, I'm interested in starting a podcast. How hard is it? Is it difficult? And basically, like any functioning system that's successful, once you have process set up, form follows function. But once you have everything set up, it's basically build a topic, validate the topic, produce the content, publish it. Now, what really makes it easy for me is the platform I use, and I have a subscription plan. So they have a free plan that you can do some limited capability of podcasting, audio podcasting. If you want to try it out, there'll be a link in this event description. You can set up a free account. You could try your podcast. The second thing is, as you upgrade, there's a little bit of savings. It's not a whole lot, but $20 is $20. But there's a way to save by, again, using my link to sign up for free, upgrade, and be able to start a podcast. But what I found, and let me see if I got a comment here. All right, Jeff, thank you. I appreciate that. But what I was going to say is that if you are interested in starting your podcast, I use Buzzsprout. And what I like about Buzzsprout is that I can upload the audio. There is a magic mastering function that will clean it up, crisp it up, brighten it up. Artwork I can create through Canva, upload that, put the transcript in, which is basically the transcript is basically going to be the script that I use to record. Load all that up, and then you can upload it. And Buzzsprout takes care of everything. You will go out and you will basically create applications, or you'll say, hey, I want to be on Apple Podcast, or I want to be on Spotify. And Buzzsprout will take care of that all for you. They will manage that for you. They have a podcast website template that you can create. So it will do all those things for you. So think of 3/4 of all the crazy stuff that we've done with a podcast. It's done, and it's a very affordable monthly subscription, even at a 3 hours a month type of podcast, which I do. Very affordable, but it just makes it so much easier. But combining that with Canva, Buzzsprout, and some other things when it comes to audio, video conversion, you're not talking about a significant investment. You're probably looking at really about $50 or less, let's say, $50 and under a month to be able to do that. And again, you could do the free and not really have a lot of expense related to it. So I think I've talked enough, but I wanted to cover that because, a lot of people have been reaching out to me saying, hey, what's it take to start a podcast? So check out this ad related to Buzzsprout. Thank you, everybody. And tomorrow evening, I will be starting up the Build Out, which is another content series I have. And we're going to be talking about time management. How about that? That's going to be exciting. All right, everybody. Have a good evening. Hey there, podcasters, or those of you listening to this episode who has an interest in starting your own podcast. Well, I've got an exciting announcement for all of you who are passionate about podcasting or looking to launch a podcast. Podcasters, are you using Buzzsprout to host your podcast? If not, you're missing out. Buzzsprout is the ultimate platform for podcasters, offering top-notch hosting, distribution, and analytics. And for those looking to start a podcast, Buzzsprout is the perfect podcast solution for beginners. No matter where you are with your podcast, I've got some great news. Introducing Buzzsprout's Refer a Friend program. So my friends, check out and sign up with Buzzsprout, and both of us get rewarded with a referral credit. It's a win-win situation, but that's not all. Buzzsprout's referral program isn't just about credits. It's about building a community of passionate podcasters who support each other. So, what are you waiting for? You'll find the referral link in this episode's description, then head over to Buzzsprout and sign up. Let's grow together and revolutionize the podcasting universe.